familiar to you. So who will forget June for his guts in exposing the NBN ZTE deal and challenge the integrity of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo? The rest is history. But where is June now? What is he doing? Is he at peace? Was his expose good for the country when the safety of his family was at stake? Tonight we have Mr. June Losada, whistleblower, who defied the odds. To him, he did it for our people and the country. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Angel.
So, sir, to start off, how long has it been since the time you exposed the NBN ZTE deal?
About 4 years and a half.
4 years and a half.
Yeah.
How are you still hiding, or how long?
No more. I'm not hiding, but there's no more like normal life to get back to. No, life has been different. Let me put it that way. And then there's no regrets. People would usually ask me that question, so I'm answering it ahead. So, and hopefully looking forward that somehow what I did would lead to something good for this country.
Certainly, sir, it was a tough act to make a firm stand and to go against someone who was in power then.
Yeah.
Where did you draw the strength and what pushed you?
Basically, I guess it brings you back to your nature, no? And as you're asking me, like where I was drawing it from, it's all about faith. At the end, I will be telling a lie if I'll tell you I was not scared. No, I was scared. But at the end, you have to just draw back, go back to who you are, and said like, I cannot do this. No, so just pray so hard. God, bahala ka na, no? But I think I cannot do like what they're asking me to do. So, ganon, di ba, before I told you nga that really the opposite of fear is not courage. It's actually faith.
Talking about being scared, what were your fears then?
Mainly for my family. Because usually they text me, this is a big carrot and a big stick. Meaning the magnitude of the NBN ZTE is really big, no? $329 million US. So they'll try to hit you with such a big stick and then offer you big carrots as well, no? But the biggest fear really was that they may harm my family.
Right. I mean, anyone would be afraid for their family.
Oh yeah, you'll receive text like, for example, I know where your kids are. They're in this place. They went into this place at this time. Your wife was at this place. So when you're receiving texts like those, and you know, like, heck, those texts are true. And scaring.
You've mentioned how many arrest warrants you have?
A lot, no?
During that
I've
time.
actually about 16 cases against me. And you have personally witnessed like harassment against me. Na? So, yes, they'll hound you. They won't let you sleep at night. They'll call you like in the middle of the evening and say, mag-iingat ka. Ay, mga ganun.
Right.
They'll try to get into your head.
So are you still afraid now?
I've learned to live with it. I guess it's not being afraid, but learning how to deal with it.
Learning how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, we would remember also during that time, it was the late President Corazon Aquino
Yes.
who was standing with you during those tough times.
In fact, when she passed away, personally I really felt such a big loss because she was telling me things before that I never thought, like, parang life then is like, it's a sig and sag and you don't know what's right around the next bend. Somehow she was one of the few persons who can tell me, you know what, this is what's going to happen next. This is what's going to happen next. And she was very instrumental in strengthening the family together. I think that she will always like tell my wife, my children, this is not about your father's fight. This is your family's fight. So, yung mga ganon. And when she speaks that, she really speaks with conviction. And we all believe her because she's gone through it before, no?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we missed her.
Very uplifting. So the rest is history. I would recall doing an interview with you before more than a year ago. We would be careful sending messages because,
Yes.
you know, safety is your safety
Yes,
and the
that's
family's
true.
safety is at stake. So how is Mr. June Losada now?
Okay, now, so different from where I was before. And, okay, the biggest change really is you really like, it's a word made flesh. When say like when you fight for the truth, when you fought for it, because the most difficult part pala for standing up for truth is not the standing up part. It's the living it on a day-to-day basis. Believe me, it's so much more difficult. Like, yeah, to live in the truth on a day-to-day basis. It's so difficult.
Was there a time in between that you thought of just giving up? You know,
Oh yeah,
stop this.
there will be times that your spirit will really get so low. You know, as if you'll feel this, nobody cares anyway. No, I remember an interview like of the widow of Jessie Robredo, and Jessie would ask her now like, do you think people would even care? You know, I don't know if you caught that part of the interview of the widow of the late Jessie Robredo. Yes, we do have those moments when you'll wonder, do people would even care?
Right, thinking that you might be in this alone.
Oh yeah, many times over. You would really feel so alone. But at the end, and then you remind yourself that you did not do it like for public approval, you did not do it for like public acclaim, you did it because of your faith. And then you just go back and then say, okay, God, I've done this.
So you answered it early on that you had no regrets, so certainly it was all worth it.
The worth it part is still, I'm hoping that it's all worth it. Having no regret and thinking that it's all worth it are actually two very different things, no? Because the no regret part is purely personal. It's all about you. It's all internal. Is it worth it? It's all external. It becomes worth it if the people involved in it would be brought to justice, if the people would even, hopefully the people would learn from it, and that will be worth it.
So moving on now, sir, with your life now, what are you currently involved with? We've heard
Okay.
projects with education.
Yes, it's always been my avocation to help education with technology.
Right.
And I'm doing now a project in most schools wherein kasi sobrang bibigat na nung bag ng mga bata.
Right.
So and my daughter had actually scoliosis. So I said, meaning I was doing nothing then in LaSalle, in the convents. I said, maybe I can do something to sort of give relief to these children. So I'm continuing it now. We call it the MOLD project. It's called like the Mobility Learning Device Project.
Interesting. So we understand, sir, that you're a Mensa. I mean, one intelligent guy we have.
Thank you.
Yeah. So finally, sir, with what's happening right now in our country, matuwid na daan, are you confident that the good will prevail in this country?
Oh yes. Sabi nga ni Tita Cory before is nga, huwag masisira ng kalooban because sa dulo nito, kabutihan din naman nanaig. I've heard like there's still so much challenges along the way, but I hope the people would remain together because truly at the end, good will overcome, good will triumph.
Any last words?
I guess if there's one last word I'd like to share with your televiewers and with you is like it's the fight for truth or for goodness, for righteousness is it's a constant struggle, but the struggle is so much easier if we start with our own selves.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your evening with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
That was Mr. June Losada, everybody's hero.